play. I'd rather be watching the video than actually on the ride. I've got to be honest.
Oh, I should be on the ride.
Here we go again. Good afternoon, David.
Good day. Woo! On that day.
Well, we've been living through a roller coaster moment for the last 3 months. Seems like.
What do you mean? I don't understand what you're talking
about. Nothing really. Nothing anymore. Hello and welcome, everybody. You want to say hello, please do. Then we know that we're live. How are you today, David?
I'm doing really well. It's been a busy morning. I've been extra busy. Like, I don't know, like there was that moment in the first 2 weeks of all of this where everything was frozen. And then people started, again, in the live streaming world for me, and then people started realizing, yeah, this is longer than 2 weeks, so we need to figure some stuff out. So they started experimenting with Zoom and all these other things. And now they're realizing more value in live streaming. So that benefits me.
Yes.
You know, so I actually did and I wanted to ask you, like, I'm kind of experimenting with a new microphone setup. Is this still clear and loud? And
you're loud and clear, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. It's I don't need a microphone, right?
No, you don't. Somebody can hear you. Just stand outside the door.
That's right. This past weekend, actually Friday night, I did not do my Friday Night Music Fever because I had another commitment, and it was a fashion show, a virtual fashion show for Big Brothers Big Sisters here in Sarnia Lambton. And here's the value in live streaming, folks. A 1-hour fashion show for a local organization in 1 hour raised $7,156.
Brilliant.
The power of live streaming.
Indeed.
So, and that number has continued to grow over the weekend, and I'll have an announcement of what that number is later today on the show. So it just goes to show, like I said a while ago, and I'm sure you would agree with this, and it's probably affected you this way too, Stephen. COVID-19 has forced us into a corner where it says, you must go be creative.
Well, you've got to decide what you're going to do. You can't adapt. If you do nothing happens, and you can go into depression. You could be depressed. That's not an option, though. If you're an optimist, and I am, like yourself, then you go and do stuff. And
it actually helped me do stuff that I have written down that, like, oh, here's a plan that I have. I'll get to that when time permits. And, I've never been a fan of the saying out loud, oh, I'm going to have that someday, or I'm going to do that. I don't usually say someday, because someday means never. But someday showed up a couple of months ago. Here's your someday.
All right. And Barry has joined us and says, good afternoon, Stephen and David. Great countdown clock. Thank you. I enjoy making the countdown clocks. Today we've got 7 countdown clocks. I'm not going to play them all, though. Depends how good or bad the dad jokes are later in the show. For every groan, we play 1 countdown clock. And I've got a very special countdown clock, which I'll be using later, which has no sound at all. Oh, where are you now?
Well, thanks to our friend Barry Loxton, I am sitting in the park down at close to Centennial Park, just off Front Street here in Sarnia. That behind me is a fountain, believe it or not. And I noticed Barry posted some this morning on his Facebook, so I borrowed them Thank you, Barry.
Yes.
He's given me permission to take any pictures I want to use, as long as I give him credit, which I'm happy to do. He loves taking pictures. I told you he was out for the motorcycle ride too, and got all kinds of pictures there as well. So this is. I don't know what the name of this is. There's a name for this place. It's a.
Kelly.
Barry might be able to tell us. Hey, Kelly.
Kelly, David wants to know where he is, and apparently there's a fountain hiding behind him. Still hiding.
Yeah. Well, it's actually, I shouldn't say it's a fountain. It's sort of a fountain. What those are steel rods. And if you can see sort of the darkened shadows in those rods, and then down, fish fountain, down below is water running in from the harbor there. There's a river, I guess. And then water trickles through and everything. Now, all those pipes, water doesn't come out of them. What happens is when you walk along, or if you're on a boat and you're moving a little faster, the shapes that are in there look like fish.
Right.
And as you walk and move, it looks like they're moving.
Wow.
So
do we have a video?
Sort of
we could do with a video so we can actually show people. Any chance for next week?
Maybe.
Right. Okay. I mean, on YouTube. I didn't mean go shoot one.
If I remember to get out there, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no agenda, as usual.
Agenda.
But since when we last came live, there wasn't something happened in the States, and people were protesting. That protest has now gone worldwide, hasn't it? As George Floyd.
Yeah. A lot of mixed emotions there. A lot of emotions happening in the world. Can I read you a tweet that I wrote?
Okay.
I should have had that ready before I asked your permission. There it is. I think.
Everyone's going to read a tweet out in a moment.
I got it. So let me set this up. The McPherson fountain. That's right. The name slipped me. Thanks, Barry. Black Lives Matter. Yep. And I don't speak out too much on my political standpoints or these type of things. It's personal to me. Okay. And I don't, I like to focus on the positive, right? And sometimes these controversial things can get out of hand, obviously, and create a lot of controversy, which controversy tends to create tension. And I don't like to create tension. We're tense enough. So I put some thought into this, and about a day ago, I tweeted this out with a lot of thought. And here's what I said. I haven't spoken out about Black Lives Matter. I believe everyone has a right to speak their voice in a respectful manner. There are so many emotions happening in the world. Just know that however you feel, you matter.
Wise words.
That's it. You matter. That's my campaign.
I think the point is that it does make you reflect on what's going on in your own country. And we do know that 135,000 people gathered over the weekend at various points throughout the UK and protested, and the vast majority were actually peaceful. But as with any gathering, it gets subverted and hijacked by a small minority who are there to cause trouble, and it did cause trouble. Yeah. And 35 policemen were actually injured during the course of the weekend in London. Home Secretary quite rightly said today that those people are actually, well, CCTV is wonderful. Everybody will be identified and the miscreants will be brought to justice. But it's just a sad indictment that you can't have a peaceful protest march wherever you are. And Barry's saying, well said, David.
Thank you, Barry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I get that there's deeper meaning behind it all than what I've just stated. And I get that there's something been ongoing for hundreds of years. And I'm not dismissing any of that by any means. It's I've been reading a book, and it actually reminded me of something that I've said to my children, and I've sort of, it's been one of my philosophies in life, and that's how we react. And that's really a big key, and especially if you're wanting to accomplish something, if you're trying to get a message across. Some people, like if you're trying to get a message across to your child, for example, sometimes people will yell at their children. Are we yelling at them to let them know that we mean business? Or are we yelling at them because we're frustrated and they're not listening and we don't know how to get through anymore? So we get that stern, threatening voice and we scare them into listening. How effective is that really? And like with all of this that's going on right now, if you want to get your message across to me, it needs to be respectful and peaceful. Otherwise, I'm not listening. That's just, and if you want me to hear your message, I don't even know that that people want to, I don't know if they want us to agree with them necessarily. I think they just want to be heard and go, okay, your message matters. I don't necessarily agree with it. And I'm not saying that I don't. I'm just saying if I don't necessarily agree with it, I'm at least willing to listen to it. But that's going to be based on how you deliver it to me. Does that make sense?
It did, yes. Yeah. Being respectful is always a good idea. And it's majority of people are. I mean, everybody watching here today is. Majority of people in the UK are respectful, and I think the only, when a thing like this goes global, you get the positive side which says, okay, all lives matter, and that's the stance that I can agree with, that all lives matter, irrespective of creed, religion, color, or, well, in respect of anything really. And I just think that we should all be able to get on. But of course,
well, sorry, go ahead.
You're good. Carry on. Okay. I'm just formulating some more thoughts. You can carry on, please.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I know I talk a lot, and I don't mean to step over top of people. I have a lot of friends who, well, I have a few friends who are police officers, and I know many of them. Put it that way. I'd like to see them, and I've dealt with them a lot. And I heard a comment, or I saw comments the other day about police officers, and I'm like, you're generalizing. It's like, and I can say this because my wife's Dutch and so is her family. It's like saying Dutch people are so cheap. No, not all of them are like that. That's like, there are bad apples in every bunch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I think that's the part that it kind of really irritates me, is the generalizing that goes on. All cops are bad. Where did that come from? Like, you've sat down and talked to all of them. Yeah.
No, there are in our countries, there are different ways of policing, and I mean, our police aren't armed, apart from with they don't have carry guns, and I think that it's America to a certain extent is still the Wild West with. Well, it is the Wild West.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah. I mean, it. No, you can't. I was going to say it wouldn't happen over here, but it might. So I can't say that. But it's less likely to. And when it does, it's the exception, not the rule. And it's unlikely that gang warfare is going to break out in the UK for a long time. Things are stable, although that's good news. So there you have it. Global reaction, and one of the things that did happen in Bristol, which is a seaport, and the significance of that is that ships used to go from Bristol to the Americas, and they went from Bristol to the Americas carrying slaves. And one of the people who ran the slave trade in Bristol became very rich through it, and places were named after him, streets were named after him, and a statue was raised on the quayside depicting him. For many years, people have been trying, because of who he was, people have been trying to get the statue removed, and through legal petitions and everything. But yesterday, when there was a gathering in Bristol around the Black Lives Matter cause, a group of people decided that the statue had to go, and with brute force, it was wrested from its days and it was thrown into the river. And got to say this, that whilst it was unlawful, the people in Bristol applauded, which is a problem, because people didn't want the statue to be there. They've been trying to get rid of it, and this was just the point at which change took place and people took it into their own hands. So our Home Secretary is saying people have brought the law and will be tracked down, and the citizens of Bristol are saying no, they did something that's been needed to be done for a long while. I mean, it's very difficult. I mean, if your city or area was part of the slave trade, you can't erase the past.
No, that's right.
You can't erase it. It's still going to be there. But the constant reminder of it, I mean, the ethnicity in Bristol is mixed, and coloured people pass by that statue every single day, and they knew the significance of it. So I'm going to come down. Your thoughts?
Well, you make a good point in there about, you can't change the past. You can't change history. It's happened. It's like slavery. You can't, here in Canada, we deal, a lot of with our Indigenous friends, right? There's quite a history there, and there's still quite a bit of ill feeling and anger and different emotions there. And I understand that. How long do we hold on to it, though? I mean, that's where okay, I get it. That happened. But how do we move forward past that? We have to be able to quote Frozen, let it go. Right? Now, easy for me to say, maybe, because I haven't been affected that way. Like, I don't know, but how do you keep putting reminders out, and how do you learn from history, learn from the past? But as you and I know, history does tend to repeat itself, unfortunately.
Well, we don't learn, do we? We pretend, we think we have, and we pretend that we have, but in reality, given the similar set of circumstances, our reaction is totally what it was previously. You know, but we are we're far enough removed from America, both of us, to well, I wouldn't go to America at the moment, is what I'm saying. It's now, talking of traveling places. The majority of Europe has now opened up, and Italy and Greece are expecting visitors, travelers, holidaymakers flying in, and you'll be tested at the airport when you fly in, and if you are negative, then you'll be allowed to carry on with your journey.
Right.
Now, in the UK today, our airlines are sacking employees by 1,000, but our government has said that if you were to fly to Bristol, David, now, and you arrived, which you would, you'd have to go into quarantine for 2 weeks. Now, basically, that means telling the government where you're going to be for those 2 weeks, where you're going to be staying, and you can only stay in one place. So your visit over here, the first 2 weeks would be just 4 walls and a garden. Which, does that entice you to come over to the UK at the moment?
Yeah, sign me up right away.
Right. Okay. That's the reaction of everybody, really. That you've got to. If you travel to UK, whether you're flying, you come by boat or ship or Channel Tunnel or whatever, you've got 14 days. You've got to fill a form in, and you will be checked on. Now, of course, this comes pretty late in the day. It should have been done right at the beginning. We were still letting people into the country freely for the first 4 weeks of lockdown. Now that we've got more freedoms, we're starting to clamp down on people coming to the country. And the logic of this escapes me. Our medical officers have said that you should be able to accept people who have a lower R number than you have. Yeah. So that if COVID is dissipating in your country, then we should be looking forward to bringing you in here. Every country in Europe is doing better than the UK at the moment. So it's just one of those things that doesn't make sense. But people will come over here, and the airlines have said, well, EasyJet have said that they're not playing. Now, how they're going to do that, I don't know. But flying into the UK at the moment is a no-go unless you're going to stay for 28 days. Because you won't see anything if you come for 14. There you go. It's just doesn't make any sense at all. Some things that government do just do not make sense.
The government doesn't always make sense. Ooh, shocker.
Right. Okay. I'll give you two, for instances.
Okay.
Okay. The government on a Friday morning, 10 o'clock, said, right, okay, from now forwards, everybody who visits a hospital must wear a mask, and all the staff within the hospital must wear a mask. Okay? Now, that's logical. If you want to keep it's okay. Who said it? That's the World Health Organization said masks are a good idea now. But the thing that the government forgot to do, it's very simple, really. They didn't tell anybody in our National Health Service. So they heard it on the radio and on the television and on Sky News that from Monday they've got to wear masks. Of course, not given time to prepare at all.
Yeah.
And the second one is our churches. Our churches now can be open for private prayer. Okay, and that was announced at 10 o'clock and nobody told the churches.
Well, there has been a lack of communication. I don't think there's a lot of confusion out there. When I had our mayor on a few weeks ago, I had asked him, I said, has the media, the press been doing a good job? Or or has the government been doing a good job getting it to the media? Anyway, he didn't think that it had been handled very well. And the other thing is the communication between different levels of government is a frustrating one. So here we have federal, then provincial, and then our municipal. And that communication or the clarity between each government is been lacking. I'll give you an example. Last week, I was on the media call. We have, I think, about 3 a week now with Dr. Sudit Ranade, who is the chief medical officer for the county here in Lambton County. And very nice gentleman, very good at giving us his time. One of the questions I asked was, A, I'm in the situation, and B, I know several who are in this situation. And I said, could you give some clarity on, I've got the audio file. I could have had it ready and played it. But anyway, is it okay for me to hug my kids? Because they've been over at their mother's for the last couple of months. Yeah. My impression, based on the Ford government, which is the provincial level, is no. Your kids should stay over there at their mother's, which is what I'd done. Told both Jason was ready to come back. I said, yeah, you just need to stay there. And Julie came over and wanted a hug, and I was just like, gotta wait. Now, of course, that's upsetting, right? When asked the question, he replied, to be clear, I have never said, nor has anybody here said, do not hug your children. Okay. And if you have this, take this home and that home and consider them one unit and make judgments accordingly. So for the purpose of this exercise, so I was like, oh, okay, well, thanks for clarifying that. But I went away kind of shaking my head because I'm like, well, that's not the message I got.
No. Whose advice do you take on board?
So, well, I'll be honest, I took his advice because I wanted to hug my kids. So, and that's an interesting thing in itself because, oh, well, he said it's okay, so it must be. But if the other doctor were to say, well, it's not okay, I like that one better because it suits me better. So I'm going to go with that one, right?
You see, this is a crazy situation. The United Kingdom is 4 countries. Yeah, England, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales. Each has their own health. That responsible for health is down to the individual countries. So Scotland have got a policy, Wales have got a policy, Ireland have got a policy, and so have England. They're all the same, aren't they? You would think. No. No, they're all different. They're all different. They are totally different. And they've got a sort of central theme, but we're all at different places on the path to becoming relatively normal again. And it's just, we can't go to Wales at the moment. We're not allowed in.
Yeah.
Okay. We can go to Scotland, but we'd have to change the rules, our rules. Right. Anyway. It must be time for dad jokes. And for every groan, I get to play a countdown clock. So I'm going to switch off.
This could be a long set of dad jokes if you get to play a countdown clock. All right. I'm still waiting for my... okay. Drum roll, please, I guess. All right. What's the worst part about throwing a party in space?
I don't know, David. What is the worst part about throwing a party in space?
You have to plan it.
That was a groan, so you're okay on that one.
How many of those videos do you have? I used to be addicted to soap. I'm clean now.
That's a smirk.
I have more.
I know you do.
Sometimes I tuck my knees into my chest and lean forward. That's just how I roll. Getting close. I can feel it. Why couldn't the leopard play hide and seek?
I don't know, David. Why couldn't the leopard play hide and seek?
He was always spotted.
That's half a ground.
Uh-huh. What do you call it when Batman skips church?
Holy Batman. I don't know. What do you call it when Batman skips church?
Christian Bale.
Oh. Groan.
What's a foot long and slippery?
Many things, David, but what are you thinking of in particular?
A slipper.
Okay. Yep.
All
right. Okay, gotcha. That had to sink in for a minute then, but I got there eventually.
He's a little slow, but he catches up eventually, folks. Yesterday, a clown opened the door for me. I thought it was a nice gesture. A nice gesture.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And today, for Monday, June the 8th, the final dad joke. Why was the horse so happy?
I don't know, David. Why was the horse so happy?
Something we all wish for right now. Because he lived in a stable environment.
All right, that's definitely a groan. That's
it for this
which means that I get to play. Well, first of all, I want to introduce a new countdown clock.
Okay, all right, let's see it.
This is a 30-minute countdown clock.
Whoa, that's a long show.
It is, isn't it? Well, basically, I was asked for it because it's a 30-minute show, the particular show that's going to be using this, and they wanted the countdown on screen. Now, you can't do it because you can't bring in, this is a video playing behind me. You can't do it because if you bring the video on screen, then it would show in one of the boxes, in one of the 4 boxes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because okay, let's just roll back a bit. I'm going to bring up a countdown timer, and I'm going to go full screen because I earned one. So here we go. Here's a countdown timer. Now that's taking up one of the boxes.
Right.
Mike's off. I'm back. You're back. The problem with that countdown timer is it takes up a slot on the screen. Yeah.
Right.
As it's doing now, or it's full screen.
Yeah.
If you want a countdown timer to be permanent, it's really got to come in via XSplit VCam. Yeah. So this video, which I'm trying to keep out of the way of, is actually from YouTube. So in XSplit VCam, YouTube link, and it's actually playing in the background. Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. I forgot you could do that, right?
Yep. You can put a YouTube link as your background, and this one is just basically it's a blank screen and the countdown clock.
Now, when you do that in XSplit, it doesn't play any audio, does it?
Not at all. No.
Okay.
No. So you could change your background by using a YouTube video. Yeah.
Screen video. This could be interesting.
We've got 24 minutes, 29 seconds of the show left. I think you find that's pretty close.
So I'm looking for okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Just a minute.
Okay.
Now I'm hearing myself.
You got an echo?
I did. Now it's gone.
Right.
So let me try this. This could be fun.
Let's just go for it.
Let's see what this does. There's more.
Okay.
Well, you really, yeah, okay, so that's cool. I got my look like things flying out of my head and stuff.
Yep. You gotta be careful.
Whoa!
God, you were nearly too slow there.
My goodness, it's gonna take my head off. You could really have some fun with this. I've been working on my return to Twitch, which I know you've heard me say before, and I've been in and out of it. And I actually have a meeting tonight with. I've been taking a course actually with.
Yes, you mentioned it.
Her name's Ashley Christ, and she's amazing. I actually use her videos and have for a few years in my class. And she's offered this course that the college gracefully paid for me to take. A lot of stuff that I already know and teach, but then there's a lot of those extra nuggets that you get that I forgot about that, or I never thought of it that way. And there's 40 other people in the course, and we talk a lot in Discord and chats and stuff. So tonight I actually have a one-on-one to talk about some of my branding and future ideas and stuff. So I'm excited for that. So look for the return, consistent return to Twitch. Coming soon to a theater near you.
Okay. Now, since we last met, I've published a new course. It's called Be Live 2020, and it's an up-to-date course all about Be Live, and all the features are covered. And this time I've released it on YouTube. So if you were to go to YouTube and type in Be Live 2020, if you go to Google and type in Be Live 2020, all one word, you would find all the videos. There are 23 videos in total. Average length is about 5 or 6 minutes. And what's going to happen is something very exciting, as you will see, hopefully in the coming weeks. There's been something we've been waiting for a couple of weeks now. Hopefully it will arrive. At the same time, something else will arrive too. But I always enjoy doing the courses, and this course I actually did. I started it on the Friday and finished it on Monday. I worked all weekend and managed to get all the videos done over the course of the weekend. So the course is there and it's ready. And Kelly's saying you've got an itch for Twitch. There you are.
Yeah.
Right. The other thing that Kelly's been following and helping with is this. Just let me go wind back to the beginning. You talked a minute ago about rebranding, and this is pertinent. I'm going to share screen, and I'm going to share this tab, and come back in. I'm going to bring the tab up on screen and put it full screen. There you are. This is my new website, which didn't exist last Thursday, but I've been working on it, and basically I've rebranded as live video training. I know Centre spelt wrong, but don't worry about that. That's English spelling. Centre for Live Video Training. And the whole idea is that it will provide video training, and that's the introduction. And then it's got an integrated blog, which talks about the countdown clocks and the welcome. And then it's got a Twitter feed, which is brought in from Twitter. And it's got my Twitter account. Nice. And recent tweets. And further down, if I go down here, keep going, I should see in a moment, if I go load more, momentarily, if this is working. Yes, there he is. Okay, I've broken it. Don't worry about it.
Right, thank you very much. Okay, so if you listen to the...
Okay. I've just been working on it with Kelly's help. Thank you, Kelly. I'm very grateful for everything that you discovered. So there we have it, new website.
Wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's like most things, I enjoy doing it. It just takes time, really. That's the thing. And as you said earlier, we've got more time on our hands than we normally.
Well, that's why I'm having a party here right now. Woo!
All right. Okay. Yeah.
What did you use to build your website? Was that WordPress or something else, or?
It's a word. I use SiteGround to host the website. It's a WordPress site, and okay. I use, not to get confused, I use Elementor to actually do all the editing and page layouts. And the theme I've chosen is, this is confusing, Elementor is the site builder, Elemento is the theme, and okay. they've got a photography theme, and I've used that. So 3 bits of software. So, and then a 4th one, which allows me to bring in the Twitter feed and the YouTube feed. So those are all licensed, and the site is up. I mean, I've got SiteGround hosting, so to put a new website on just cost me the registration fee and renewal every year. So £12 is the cost in terms of the website. Hosting is already being paid for, so that was free. So good fun. It's amazing what you forget.
Yeah. I've never used I've never used WordPress for a website. Let me rephrase that. I have used and accessed, like, I know how to use WordPress as far as editing goes, but I've never set up a WordPress website. I use Wix right now. Yep. And have for almost 8 years anyway. And I'm really happy with it because there's a lot of different things I can do with it, but then I also realize there's some things I can't do with it that WordPress could, and so I thought about switching, but I have everything already set up so well in Wix, and it's working. And
well, we do say one of our mottos is, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And basically, we all get comfortable with a particular system and adept at using it. So at the end of the day, the website looks like a website, and if you can do what you want to do on it, do you agree?
Yeah, that's right. If it's doing what you want it to do, right? But now here's another video that I just grabbed from YouTube. That okay, I got all these virtual backgrounds going on. But do you see a problem?
Just a minute. Let me just turn off the comment. Do I see a problem? Just a minute. What's the problem?
The problem just went away.
Oh, well, right.
There was an ad up there, right?
All right. Okay. Yeah.
There was a big ad at the bottom, and then it also shows, so it shows everything that does happen in that YouTube video, right?
That's indeed. Yeah, I agree with that. And Kelly sent 2 videos of the fountain.
Sent it where?
Well, it's not to me, so I suggest, because it's not got far to travel if he sends it to you. It's got to come halfway across the world to get to me. So Barry's saying congratulations on your website. Thank you, Barry. And people are very supportive, and 3 years ago, the other 9 years ago in Facebook Messenger, the show.
What? 3 years ago, other 9 years ago. I don't understand what he's talking about there. What do you mean?
I don't know. Right. Okay.
Oh, maybe he messages to the show with David Burrows.
Could be. Could well be. I'm going to remove that.
But things are slow because we're live. Till they get my new computer.
Oh. Tell me more.
Oh, whoops. Did I let that slip out?
You did, yeah, afraid so. You've got to tell us now. You can't keep us in suspense.
How do I do it? Well, I'm trying to download this. Okay, I've got them here, but I don't know how to download them. Yes, okay, I got the video, but I don't know how to. More video settings, more like I don't know how to download it. Do you know how to download from a message? That Facebook sometimes just does not make things simple.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Oh, right. Okay. There's one thing we can do. Whilst you're sorting that out, I'm going to go over to my.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I can do this. I wonder. Copy video. Oh, I wonder if this works with XSplit. It says YouTube video, but I wonder, does it have to be a YouTube video?
Yeah, it's got to be physically on YouTube. You could share it if you've got it on. If you drag it into Chrome, you can share the tab. The old-fashioned way.
Right.
Okay. Now, do you have the new version of Facebook, David?
I've had it for a while. I'm not quite a few months actually.
Do you like it?
I'm not using it. I don't know. I started with it one day and played around, and then I got busy doing other things. So
you switched back.
Yeah. What's going on here?
Screen share.
Oh, there we go. Try this. No, I got to get to the video first.
Okay.
Almost there.
Welcome to the show. If you just joined us, this is Broadcasting to Your Community with David in Sarnia, Ontario, myself in Devizes in Wiltshire in England, and we're about to watch a video sent by Kelly, which is of where David is at the moment, in front of the fountain.
Except there won't be any sound because you can't share sound on BeLive anymore at the moment. There you go.
Wait a minute. Let me find it. Okay, so I'm going to share in the screen. 3, 2, 1. And bring it full screen. Okay, you're in control. Oh, wow. Now that is impressive.
Now, this is what he was talking about. This is from 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And then there's I guess there's another one here. Let's see. And this one's from 9 years ago. Okay.
Okay. Oh, that's the same one's before, isn't it? Sorry. Okay, I've got rid of that. I'm going to delete that one. You're sending another one through. Okay.
Oh, what happened?
No. All right. Okay. Out to Kelly. Oh, I got it. I got it. Showing stream. Put full screen. No, is that? Okay. Oh, good. Look, it helps to we can visualize it now, and this is in relation to the new Facebook. I tried a new Facebook, didn't like it. It went to dark mode, reminded me of MySpace, and it went back to Facebook again. Yeah, I'm to and fro at the moment. I haven't made my mind up, so I'm switching backwards and forwards.
Well, I think we probably should switch to the news Facebook, because if eventually you won't have a choice.
Well, no, that's true.
And whenever it's like phones, like, oh, I got a new phone. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to like it, because we don't like change. We just got comfortable with where everything is on Facebook, and now they're going to change it. I felt the same way when the new Creator Studio came out. Now I use Creator Studio all the time, and I love it. Yeah,
but now it's forced on us. We've no option. There's some nice things in there with regard to
great things in there. They're hard to find great things sometimes, but they're there.
Yeah. Well, audience. You can determine your audience, so that's good. Yeah. I'm just grateful. We're open to the public. We love the fact that you come along and watch us. I mean, we're not going to restrict anybody, but on certain shows you could actually do that. Right. Okay. 7 minutes 20 seconds left. Do you have another show to go?
I'm gonna bail out of here because I got the Premier of Ontario coming up at 1 o'clock, and got to get ready for that. And yes, later today, I will have Jeff Black on my show, who is a local musician who decided to take some music of a mutual friend of ours, Jay Dalkey, who's really, he had another stroke a little while back. He's just really suffering, and Jeff's put together this compilation on a CD of music that they did years ago, and he's selling it to raise money for him. Derek Wilson, who is from Badge of Life Canada, is going to be joining and talking about correctional officers, etc. And then Josh Dowse is coming on. He's a tattoo artist out of Petrolia who is frustrated that he can't open, but dentists can, etc. And I think there's a little bit of conversation about Black Lives Matter in there as well. So it'll be a little bit of a different show today, but it'll still be a positive show. So that's what's coming up later for me. And who knows what the Premier of Ontario is going to be saying in a few moments. So Stephen, thank you again. It's always good to see you. I look forward to my Mondays so I can see you and talk with you and see what we come up with, because we never know, right?
We never know. There's always something new. Either somebody else has done something or we've done something. That's right. So David, have a great show later, and I'll catch you later in the week.
Give us a 10, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
All right, so if I press this button here, I should explode. Nope, it's just me on screen. Right, okay. Now, I've been testing the countdown clock. It's come through with flying colours. You will, Barry, you will see the new Facebook. Worry not, everybody will get it. They do tend to, they go out in South Africa, has had it for a couple of months, New Zealand, Australia, and then they come over to the UK and then USA and Canada. I know Maurice Smith agrees with Kelly that she doesn't like it either. And it's one of those things that it's the thing about when they release these new websites and updated websites, and you just wake up one morning, your world's gone. I mean, in case of Facebook, it is the online world. It's where most of the things that we're involved in actually happen. And when you wake up one morning, it's totally different. You go, what that is that? And that's a natural reaction which we all have. And then you try to find things and you discover that everything's not there that you expect to be there. It's not moved, it's just not there. And I think this is when you become an unwitting alpha stroke beta tester for software. And the first thing that I did was to actually post Mari's comments and then just say, I'm in two minds about it. And I went to bed having posted that comment. And the following morning I woke up with the ability to switch back. So I don't know how closely they're watching us, but they are watching us. Truly, they are watching what we're doing. So I haven't really made my mind up about the new Facebook. There are good features in it. We'll get used to it, as David said. But it is a bit different at the moment. And different is not necessarily a bad thing or a good thing. It's just different. It's basically something different. Right. As David's gone, I can do one more countdown clock. Now, I've got 7 this week. And the most popular one is this one, because we've not seen it yet. So I'm going to bring it up on screen and I'm going to put it full screen. And this, I put this on YouTube and it's just taking off, literally. Did you spot the join? This video, the original video in NVIDIA, was about 45 seconds. So I had to let it run twice, which in the case of the volcano was okay, because you've got to look hard to actually see the join. As Angelica rightly pointed out with the rocket one, if I'd started that again, that wouldn't have worked. But fortunately, the rocket video was 1 minute 25 seconds, so it took off and stayed in flight. But I'm enjoying making these. It's a combination of using NVIDIA. I'm using stock video. I'm using stock music, and the timer is one that I put together, and it all comes together quite nicely. And so it's good when I actually see a show actually using it. I get them through my feed. The most popular ones are the crowd one and the rainbow one, and they're not too bad though. It's not too bad. And over to right, it flicked fast. Okay, so we've tested this countdown timer there, and that's counting down to the end of the show. And it's going to be used, hopefully, in somebody else's show, because they want to stick to 30 minutes. They want to be able to pace the show so that they know when they're 10 minutes in, when they're 20 minutes in, and how long they've got left. So I'm hoping that I can persuade him to use XSplit VCAM, because if I can't, it won't work. Thanks for joining us today, Kelly and to Barry, and to everybody else who watched live. It's always a pleasure to actually come out and join our two countries together and chat about what's going on both sides of the Atlantic, and look forward to, well, things are getting slowly back to normal, and should be able to go to the National Trust this weekend. So that's another step forward, which reminds me, I've got to go and book it now, because it's limited numbers and you've got to book before you can go. So you see the countdown started again. Thanks for joining today. See you again next week. Take care. for the rest of the week. And final comment is from Kelly. You're doing a great job on the countdown times too. Thank you, Barry. I'm enjoying. It's. I tell you what, actually doing these times is cathartic, because I totally lose myself in selecting the video and the music. 10. Thank you. And comments are coming in. And Kelly is saying, have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your day, gents. I'll see you shortly. Bye for now. Oh, I'll be in the Believers tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern. Bye. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't press stop then.